The Conversation Revolution, Unleashing Your Hidden Superpower. Welcome to a groundbreaking episode of the BlackCEO Podcast. Today we're diving deep into a revolutionary concept that has the power to transform your life, your relationships, and your very destiny. We're incredibly honored to share insights from our extraordinary conversation with Dr. Demisha Burns, a visionary thinker and communication expert who's challenging everything we thought we knew about success and human interaction. Dr. Burns isn't just another self-help guru or motivational speaker. She's a force of nature, a brilliant mind dedicated to dismantling the barriers that hold people back from reaching their full potential. Her work, particularly focused on empowering marginalized voices, has already changed countless lives and is reshaping the landscape of personal and professional development. Dr. Burns doesn't just talk about change, she embodies it, pushing boundaries and challenging societal norms with every word she speaks and every idea she shares. Now brace yourselves, because what you're about to hear might shake the very foundations of how you view the world and your place in it. Dr. Burns has introduced us to a concept so powerful, so transformative, that it could very well be the key to unlocking every door that's ever been closed to you. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Are you prepared to question everything you thought you knew about success, power, and human connection? Let's dive in. Imagine for a moment that everything you've ever wanted, love, wealth, respect, influence, was just a conversation away. I know, it sounds too good to be true, right? Like some kind of snake oil promise or late night infomercial pitch. But stick with me, because what Dr. Burns proposes isn't just wishful thinking or positive psychology fluff. It's a paradigm shift so profound, so earth-shattering, that it has the potential to rewrite the rules of success as we know them. Dr. Burns calls it conversational positioning, and it's about to change everything. Now, before you roll your eyes or reach for that skip button, let me be clear. This isn't about learning some magic words or mastering the art of manipulation. It's about something far more powerful, far more revolutionary. It's about understanding the hidden dynamics that shape every human interaction and learning how to harness them to create the life you've always dreamed of. Think about it. How many conversations do you have in a day? With your partner, your kids, your colleagues, the barista at your local coffee shop? Now, how many of those conversations do you approach with real intention? How many times do you stop to consider the power dynamics at play, the subtle nuances that could make or break a connection, an opportunity, a relationship? If you're like most people, the answer is probably not often. And that, according to Dr. Burns, is where we're all going wrong. You see, most of us stumble through life, letting conversations happen to us rather than actively shaping them. We react rather than lead. We follow social scripts rather than writing our own. And as a result, much of the success we experience is, as Dr. Burns puts it, purely accidental. Yes, you heard that right, accidental. Think about the last time something really good happened in your life, a promotion at work, a new relationship, an unexpected opportunity. How much of that was the result of conscious, intentional action on your part? And how much of it just seemed to happen? If you're honest with yourself, you'll probably realize that a lot of your successes have been more about luck than strategy. You were in the right place at the right time. You happened to say the right thing to the right person. You stumbled into an opportunity without really knowing how you got there. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if you could turn those accidental successes into intentional ones? What if you could walk into every conversation knowing exactly how to position yourself for success? That's the promise of conversational positioning. And let me tell you, it's a game changer. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. This sounds like manipulation. It sounds fake, inauthentic. But here's where Dr. Burns' approach is truly revolutionary. Effective conversational positioning isn't about being someone you're not. It's about being the best, most authentic version of yourself in every interaction. Now, think of it like this. We all have multiple facets to our personalities, right? You're not the same person with your best friend as you are with your boss. You present different aspects of yourself in different situations. That's not being fake. It's being human. Conversational positioning is about understanding which aspects of yourself to bring to the forefront in any given interaction. It's about aligning your authentic self with the needs and interests of the person you're talking to. It's about creating connections, building bridges, and opening doors, all while remaining true to who you are. Let me give you a real-world example of how powerful this can be. Dr. Burns shared a story with us about a client of hers, a brilliant black woman in the tech industry who was consistently passed over for promotions despite her exceptional skills and work ethic. This woman, let's call her Sarah, was frustrated and demoralized. She felt like she was hitting an invisible wall, and no matter how hard she worked, she couldn't break through. Dr. Burns worked with Sarah on her conversational positioning, helping her understand how to present herself in a way that aligned with the company's needs while still honoring her authentic self. The next time a promotion opportunity came up, Sarah didn't just list her accomplishments in the interview. Instead, she positioned herself as a problem solver, someone who could see the big picture and drive innovation. She asked thoughtful questions about the company's challenges and offered insights into how she could help address them. The result? Sarah not only got the promotion, but she was fast-tracked into a leadership position. All because she learned how to position herself effectively in that crucial conversation. Now, I can almost hear some of you saying, that's great for Sarah, but what about me? I'm not looking for a promotion. How does this apply to my life? And that's a fair question. The beauty of conversational positioning is that it's not just about career advancement. It's a tool that can transform every area of your life. Are you struggling in your relationships? Learning to position yourself effectively in conversations with your partner could lead to deeper understanding, better communication, and a stronger connection. Are you trying to get healthier? The way you talk to yourself, the conversations you have with your doctor or your personal trainer can make all the difference in achieving your health goals. Even something as simple as asking for a refund on a faulty product can be transformed by effective conversational positioning. Instead of going in angry and defensive, you position yourself as a valued customer who wants to maintain a positive relationship with the company. The difference in response can be night and day. But here's where it gets really interesting and where Dr. Burns' insights become truly revolutionary. Conversational positioning isn't just about individual success. It's about changing the very fabric of society. Think about it. Who gets heard in our society? Whose voices carry weight? Too often it's those who already hold power. The wealthy, the privileged, those who fit into narrow societal norms. But what if everyone had the tools to make their voice heard? What if everyone knew how to position themselves effectively in crucial conversations? This is where Dr. Burns' work becomes not just transformative, but revolutionary. She's not just teaching people how to succeed within the existing system. She's giving people the tools to change the system itself. Imagine a world where a young black woman walks into a boardroom and knows exactly how to position herself to be heard and respected. Imagine a world where a transgender person can effectively communicate their needs to healthcare providers. Imagine a world where marginalized voices aren't just speaking up, but are being listened to and acted upon. That's the world Dr. Burns is working to create. And it starts with you, with me, with all of us learning how to position ourselves effectively in every conversation we have. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This all sounds great in theory, but does it really work in practice? And that's a fair question. After all, we've all encountered our fair share of communication strategies that sound good on paper but fall flat in the real world. But here's where Dr. Burns' approach is different. It's not about memorizing scripts or following a rigid set of rules. It's about developing a new mindset, a new way of approaching every interaction in your life. Let me share another powerful example from Dr. Burns' work. She told us about a client, a young gay man we'll call Michael, who was struggling to come out to his conservative family. Michael was terrified of rejection, of losing the people he loved most in the world. He tried to broach the subject before, but always backed down at the last minute, overwhelmed by fear and uncertainty. Dr. Burns worked with Michael on his conversational positioning. She helped him understand that this wasn't just about delivering information. It was about creating a space for understanding and connection. They worked on how Michael could position himself not as someone seeking approval, but as a loving son and brother inviting his family into a deeper, more authentic relationship. When Michael finally had the conversation with his family, it wasn't easy. There were tears, there was confusion, there was fear on both sides. But because of how Michael had positioned himself, there was also love and openness and a willingness to listen and understand. Today, Michael has a stronger, more authentic relationship with his family than he ever thought possible. That's the power of conversational positioning. It's not about manipulating others or always getting your way. It's about creating opportunities for real connection, for mutual understanding, for growth and change. But here's the thing, and this is crucial. Mastering conversational positioning isn't easy. It's not something you can learn overnight. It requires self-reflection, practice, and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. It means being willing to examine your own biases, to challenge your assumptions about how communication works. Dr. Burns emphasizes that this is particularly important for those who have historically been marginalized or silenced. She shared a powerful message specifically for Black women in the LGBTQ community. What you have to say matters too. This isn't just a feel-good affirmation. It's a call to action. In a world that too often tries to silence certain voices, knowing how to position yourself effectively in conversations becomes an act of resistance, a way of claiming your rightful space in the world. But it's not just about speaking up. It's about speaking up in a way that ensures you're heard. It's about understanding the dynamics at play in any given conversation and knowing how to navigate them to your advantage. This might sound daunting, and in some ways it is. Changing the way you communicate, the way you present yourself to the world isn't easy, but the potential rewards are immense. Imagine walking into every interaction with confidence, knowing that you have the tools to create the outcome you desire. Imagine never again feeling like you're at the mercy of others, never again feeling powerless or voiceless. That's the promise of conversational positioning. And it's a promise that Dr. Burns has seen fulfilled time and time again in her work. But here's the thing, and this is perhaps the most important point of all. Mastering conversational positioning isn't just about personal gain. It's about creating a more just, more equitable world for everyone. When marginalized voices learn how to position themselves effectively, when they learn how to be heard and respected, it changes more than just their individual circumstances. It changes the entire conversation. It shifts the balance of power. It opens up new possibilities, not just for individuals, but for entire communities. Imagine a world where every voice is heard, where every perspective is valued. Imagine a world where communication isn't a tool for domination, but a pathway to understanding and connection. That's the world that becomes possible when we all learn how to position ourselves effectively in our conversations. So where do we go from here? How do we start to harness this incredible power that's been hiding in plain sight all along? Dr. Burns suggests starting with self-awareness. Before your next important conversation, take a moment to consider your intentions. What do you hope to achieve? How can you position yourself to best achieve that goal? What aspects of yourself do you need to bring to the forefront? Next, focus on active listening. Remember, effective positioning isn't about dominating the conversation. It's about understanding the other person's needs and aligning yourself with them. Ask thoughtful questions, show genuine interest, look for opportunities to add value, and perhaps most importantly, be authentic. Conversational positioning isn't about creating a false persona. It's about presenting the best, most relevant aspects of your true self. Start small. Practice in low-stakes situations. Pay attention to how people respond to you. Learn from your successes and your failures. And remember, this is a skill that can be developed over time. The more you practice, the more natural it will become. But don't stop there. Share what you learn with others. Teach these skills to your children, your friends, your community. Because the more people who understand the power of conversational positioning, the more we can shift the dynamics of power and communication in our society as a whole. And to those who have historically been silenced or marginalized, I want to echo Dr. Burns' powerful message. Your voice matters. Your experiences matter. Your perspective matters. The world needs to hear what you have to say. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Learning to position yourself effectively in conversations isn't just about personal success. It's about claiming your rightful place in the world. It's about ensuring that your voice is heard, your needs are met, your humanity is recognized and respected. So I challenge you, I challenge each and every one of you listening right now. Don't let this be just another podcast episode that you listen to and forget. Don't let these powerful insights become just another piece of interesting but ultimately unused information. Take action. Start today. Pay attention to your conversations. Notice how you position yourself. Are you being intentional or are you falling into reactive patterns? Are you presenting the best version of yourself or are you letting others define you? Choose one conversation today, just one, where you'll consciously apply the principles of conversational positioning. Set an intention. Listen actively. Align your strengths with the other person's needs. Be authentic, be strategic, and most importantly, be bold in asserting your value. Remember, every conversation is an opportunity to learn, to grow, to influence, and to achieve. Don't let these opportunities pass you by. Embrace the power of conversational positioning and watch as doors you never even knew existed start to open. The conversation that changes your life could be just around the corner. The words that reshape your reality could be on the tip of your tongue right now. The interaction that shifts the balance of power could be waiting for you to step up and claim your space. Are you ready? Are you willing to challenge everything you thought you knew about communication and success? Are you prepared to step into your power and make your voice heard? The choice is yours. The power is yours. The conversation starts now. What will you say? How will you position yourself? How will you change your world? The floor is yours. The stage is set. The audience is waiting. Speak up. Position yourself. Change the world. Your voice matters. Your story matters. You matter. Now go out there and show the world just how powerful you can be. One conversation at a time. The revolution starts with you. The revolution starts now. Are you ready to join the conversation revolution?